I'm back. Cat's gone out for a shit. I'm not pleased, but we're moving on. Fucking my train of logic's bollocks. Please tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll move on. I'll get on with it. But in my current mindset, I'm pissed. Are you ready to let it all go? No, I'm not ready to let it go, you Fruit Loop. Of course not. I'll never give up. I see. I suppose this, too, is fate. On the bullshit parchment, the sacred scriptures of Quranism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you, who struggles ceaselessly against his fate, Purple Bowl Jig seems most appropriate. People boil what? Oh wait, that's Quranism. What sort of terrible place is Purple Bowl Jig? A place where the more one struggles, the further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, a ferocious beast awaits. Oh, nice. Think of it as something akin to an antlion sandpit trap. Ah, there's one of those in my backyard. Wow, Quranism hell is closer to home than I thought. Now then, it would appear that the witness's testimony supports the prosecution's claims, and it's bullshit that the defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim understage. Gurk, how are we supposed to get out of this jam? Hey Apollo, if you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use analytical psychology. There were plenty, but fine, whatever, use your bullshit robot. You mean? I heard some discord in Bonnie's voice while she was testifying. Yeah, it's almost like she went fucking 3 shades of bananas for a minute there. Noise level, 100%. See, Widget is picking up the noise in her heart too. That's right, Athena can hear things others can't with a super sensitive hearing. Sounds like it would get really fucking annoying after a while, but whatever. She can hear the emotions people suppress as a kind of noise or discord in their voices. Alright, Athena, let's give it a try. You got it.
Hold it.
Your Honor? I'm afraid that our witness, Mr. Pham, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident. She is? Yes, what with that terrible death on stage, and her beloved Trucy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she is unfit to testify. What? Oh, I've heard of that. What is it called? Postal stress disorder, right? It's where a person becomes uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere. That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD. Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she were a different person. Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness. Hold it. Huh? Therapy? You don't know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. I've risked my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half. Oopsie. Boy, I have to watch my temper, don't I? Tee-hee. Miss Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady. And what exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice? With a super sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear a witness's true emotions. What a massive crock of horse shit. Simply from tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what a person is feeling. I can even pick out feelings that a witness is trying to suppress or hide. Widget projects the emotions I hear into the mood matrix, where I can analyze them. It sounds like some sort of spurious devilry, though I find it hard to believe. I must ask, how do emotions constitute evidence? Well, I won't say that emotions can't be taken as evidence per se. I have seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try. God bless you, Judgy. I see. If you're in favour of it, Your Honour, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness. I'll disturb you! Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Sad Marty. Apollo, you remember how to conduct a therapy session, right? You want me to lead the session? Of course, you're the lead on this case, after all. Fair enough, but do I need a refresher? You know what, fuck it, I may as well. I've only seen it, I ain't actually done it. Okay, I think I could use a refresher. What a massive load of bollocks. Bollocks, I say! I had it cracked, but no, I have to use the fucking emotion-tron. Boys' emotions are shown here in the mood matrix. Exactly, the emotions are picked up from testimonies projected into this program. The mood matrix is a visual representation of witness's testimony and emotions. These four mood markers reflect fluctuations in the witness's emotion. As testimony involves, the mood markers flash in reaction to the witness's feelings. Happy, when the witness feels happy, is enjoying the memory, the happy marker. I need to find a conflict between what she's saying and which mood markers are blinking. That's right, and Mr. Pham definitely has some conflicted emotions. See? She's fucking crazy! Widget reacts to the suppressed emotions I pick up and projects them as noise. If we can pinpoint the inconsistency between her testimony and her feelings, the noise level should drop to 0% and the therapy session will be a success. When you find an unexpected emotion, touch pinpoint and then select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the four mood markers. Okay, now to give it a whirl. Guess Trucy's the one who killed Mr. Roy. She's sad. Even she could move the body with that lift. Still sad. I was on stage at the time. That terrible mistake. My stupid flub caused Trucy so much trouble. I feel so bad about it.
Got it.
I have to say, Mr. Pham, you certainly are a strange one. Even though you said, I feel so bad about it, it seems you were feeling happy about it. Yeah. You don't have to answer it. I think I can guess why you were feeling happy. It must be because you messed Trucy up. I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I? You gotta be kidding me. Why would I be happy I messed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of hers. Because we saw you. I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that flashback. Just because she's a little good at magic and thinks she's all that, this flashback is so pointless it's already been done twice. You don't have to flashback to fucking everything! We have memories. Even though mine is quite obviously a bit jank. We saw how you said you hated Trucy Wright. How you were glad she was in trouble. And even how it was what she deserved. Oh, bollocks! It looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Yeah. Cool. Apollo, the noise level dropped. Now if we could get it down to 0%. Well, Mr. Pham, are you ready to confess how you really feel? What? What do you mean? I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. I'm a rookie magician working hard to be just like my idol Trucy. That's the character I'm what? Keep that up, Mr. Pham, and you're going to have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are. Who I really am? The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I think you want psychological there, love. I can hear them. Two distinct voices battling inside you. Shut your pie hole, you know nothing. Know it all. Ah, I mean, you mustn't say things like that, or I might get flustered. Fine, she's crazy. Mr. Pham, how long do you insist on maintaining this wolf in sheep's clothing act? We can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Set the wild beast inside you free. Urgh. Grrr. Heh heh heh. Ha 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 ha. Wow, the change is amazing. Don't make me laugh, you don't know a dang thing about me. You want to see who I really am? Fine, take a good look. As she strips naked. Okay. Key hee hee, key 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 key. What in the world? Sheep's clothing, you've got it all wrong. It's a rabbit suit I've got on. And I'm not a wolf, I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bat with fangs and wings. Key hee hee, key 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 key. Eek! I think we just opened Pandora's box. Key 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 key. I'm finally done with that goody two-shoes cottontail act. I feel free as a bat. Key key key. What the fuck is happening? Defense! Your therapy session is taking a turn for the worse from the looks of it. There's a perfectly good explanation for this. Isn't there, Miss Sykes? Methinks I created a monster. We blew it! Hey you, lobster boy. Who, me? You think I'm glad Trusie's in trouble? That I think she's getting her just desserts? Well, guess what? You're right. Key hee hee, key key, key key. Does this mean you would admit to wishing the defendant harm? Well, the bat is out of the bag now. Key hee hee, that mistake of mine was a work of art. Thanks to my goof, poor little Trucy had to do all of that hard physical labour. When you say hard physical labour, what are you referring to? Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both of those huge stage lifts. They must have been so heavy. What a riot! Key hee hee. That's strange. Athena, could you please add that last statement to Bonnie's testimony? Alright, I'll update the moon matrix with the new info. Hey, Apollo! Now there's a new inconsistency in the testimony. Yeah, she finally slipped up. So what do I need to do now? Well, from this point onward, you just do what you do best. Find the contradiction in the testimony and present evidence to refute it. Alright, I've got you now, Bonnie the Pham. Uh-huh. 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 You know what? Serves her right. Key, 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 key. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. She told no one about this. Don't you fucking dick me now. Hang on a minute. I don't particularly want to save it because I'm on my last life, but I kind of need to save it because I'm on my last life, so yeah.
Objection!
Don't you to be a prick now. Alright. That doesn't make sense. What? So you think I'm crazy now? Well, yes. No, that's not the point I was trying to make. But I don't hear you denying it. Mr. Pham, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. Kee-hee-hee, that's right, and I still say that's just what she deserved. But how did you know? How did you know Miss Wright moved the stage lifts? Huh? According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone that she had done so. What? So how could you possibly have known what she had done unless you saw her? You saw Miss Wright moving the lifts in the understage passage, didn't you? Key! What a bitch. What? How? She was on stage all the fucking time. You did it, Apollo. Noise levels are at 0%. But, Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean... Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Pham herself was under the stage where the victim was killed. And I hardly need to tell the court what that means. You are one artful liar, Mr. Pham, and one spectacular suspect. Kia! Rabble, 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 rabble! Why, you shiny red lobster boy? You're saying I killed Mr. Royce? I'm saying that it's a possibility. What's more, I say you had a solid motive to frame my client for the murder as well. My apologies for raiding on the defence's merry revelry. That's a good word, that. But you seem to have forgotten one very important point. Oh, really? The TV footage. Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know why you were fucking saying that she was... As you can clearly see, Mr. Pham was on the stage the whole time. The entire audience can bear witness to that fact, including you. Oh, yeah. You have just taken a long and senseless journey, only to return to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understage passage, which means the only one left who could have killed the victim is the accused. Ack! Guess the party's over. But, Mr. Pham knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, Prosecutor Sadbody? It's quite simple. The accused must have told Mr. Pham about it, but then forgot. Over those useless eyes of yours to take a good look at the footage. If Mr. Pham really was in the understage passage, it would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time. You mean she was in two places at once? That does seem to be the only explanation that makes any sense. It may be an explanation, but I'm not so sure about the make sense part. Then we'll just have to make it make sense! Yeah, that's how it works. Your Honour, the witness was both on stage and understage at the same time. This is the defence's assertion. Alright? I've heard some illogical things come out of you before, but this is absurd. No, I'm fairly certain he's done worse than that. I'm sure you'll change your tune once you hear my reasoning, Your Honour. My gut tells me you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Very well, Mr. Justice. How would you explain how the witness was in two places at once? Oh, fucking hell. She teleported, there were two Bonnies, the Bonnie on stage was fake. Now... Oh, right, that explains the teleportation thing. Oh, I'm gonna kind of roll with there were two Bonnies. That's what because the Bonnie on stage obviously wasn't fake. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna roll with two Bonnies. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Twins, I guess. That would explain the teleportation bullshit. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? There were two of them? I suspected you had a few screws loose, but now I see some are missing altogether. Is there a toolkit in this courtroom, Your Honor? Ha ha! You're a funny bloke! I suppose, too, no free screws to the head should rot in his putrid brain. Very well, bailiff, could you... No, wait! Please, listen to my argument. Very well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least give it a listen. As was argued earlier, Mr. Pham is shown in the footage the whole time. But at the same time, she was also watching Miss Wright in the understage passage. The only possible explanation is that there are two bodies. That almost sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor Sadmarty? I wonder. Does he think it's bollocks? This humble servant of the Holy Mother is of the opinion that it's bollocks. There you go. But Apollo, it goes against reality itself to say that one person is actually two. No, he's not saying that. He's saying that there's two people. Twins? But we don't have to be bound by reality. After all, we're talking... Oh, god damn it. Why? Why? So if the Bonnie DeFam in the footage is the real Bonnie, then the Bonnie here on the witness stand, the one who must have been understage, this Bonnie DeFam is our second Bonnie. Key. She is. Say we call the one in front of us Bonnie number 2. I believe I have just a piece of evidence to prove that a Miss Bonnie number 2... Really? We do? Please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of a Bonnie number 2? In addition to prints from the victim and Bonnie, a set of unknown fingerprints were found on the top. Oh, that would make sense. I'm still gonna fucking save it though. You can't fucking... I'm not redoing all of this! I hate redoing stuff. It pisses me off. Alright, good. Cool. We're alright, we're fine. What's this? During our investigation, we found a set of unknown prints on the coffin on the stage. These prints were most likely left during the course of the show. But they didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case. An unknown third party's fingerprints? I was not told of this. Emma must have kept it from him. So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Mr. Pham? Or should I say, Bonnie number 2? These are your fingerprints, aren't they? Kya! The thing. Oh, he's pissed! Enough of this foolishness. One person could not possibly be 2. Those fingerprints could have been left not only during the show, but at any time. It's not like you to lose your cool like that, Prosecutor Sadmarty. And I'm sure you know that. Exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue. What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice? The issue is, who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie DeFam's. What if they belong to the person standing right in front of us? Oh, you mean Bonnie number 2 is the second... No! Is that what you're implying? It's preposterous to suggest that those prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other unknown individual. Prosecutor Sadmarty, can you really look at her and still say that? What are you looking at? Take a picture, it'll last longer. How could this be? If we check her print, I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to the real you belong to you, don't they? Bonnie number 2. Key. Witness, it's what the defense has said true. Key hee hee. Fine, I admit it. The fingerprints are mine. Then does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFam? What? Ridiculous. See, this is when the game gets fun. When it just goes fucking 3 shades of fucking crazy and just does what it wants. Great time. More of that, please. With a decent logical string on it. I'd appreciate that. For me. Just for me. Are there really 2 Bonnies? Nope. There's only 1 Bonnie. That's because... I'm Betty! Oh my god! Betty DeFam! What? Ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show. Gasp in amazement as this lagomorphin illusionist performs her teleportation magic. Watch closely, it's showtime! Cool. What an amazing trick! The witness is suddenly split into 2 people. It's not a trick, no gimmick to it either. We're simply twins. Wow. What? Twins? Yes, the thing that I'm... Oh, for God's sake. Like, I feel like I'm ahead of the game, but I feel stupid because I'm ahead of the game. So that's how the teleportation trick works. Ever since our debut, I've had to hide or pretend I'm Bonnie. All cute and sweet and goody-goody. I can't tell you how stressful it's been. We don't have to hide anymore. That's right, our days of sneaking around are finally over. Their cover is blown, but they actually seem pretty happy about it. So which one of you is the nice Bonnie DeFam we met in the dressing room? That would be me. And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw with the ratings Roger under stage was... Hey, who are you calling sharp-tongued? It's all starting to make sense now. Sweet. So, Mr. Justice, this changes the facts of the case rather dramatically, doesn't it? It certainly does. During the show, it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time. So Bonnie couldn't have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was understage, did have the opportunity. Yeah. Wow, so we now have 2 suspects. Wait just a minute there, Lobster Boy. I didn't do it. That's right, Betty might have a foul mouth, but she'd never kill anybody. Hey, who's got a foul mouth here? Oh, well, speak up, huh?
Hold it!
Please save your sibling squabbling for later. Betty, you must have been in the understage passage during the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about the stage lifts being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there? Fine, I'll testify. Anything to get you off my back. Prosecutor Sarmati, Betty DeFam is ready to testify. What do you say? Betty, you lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother. Hey, what else could I do? I couldn't blow our cover and ruin our magic act. Well, why didn't she just fucking testify, you fucking pillock? Kee. Besides, am I going to go to your Twilight Hell or whatever being a liar? You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather... I shall give you a taste of your punishment on this mortal coil. In interrogation hell. Eek! Now then, Betty the Fam, please explain to this court what exactly you were doing under the stage. Oh, it's all coming together! Hang on a minute. I need sustenance. There. Oh man. It's true, I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Royce was supposed to do. That's right, it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. It was in the script, and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident. Shut up, you're gonna give it away! Anyway, I was real busy. Yeah, way too busy to have the chance to kill Mr. Royce. Well, that was certainly different. Hee, how's that for a flawless testimony and alibi? Our magic is real, it's not a trick or a gimmick. Oh, oh, Judgy, you're great. Your Honor. You can see she's being held up from below. You were supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette. But... I can't help it. Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out. Now then, the defense now maybe get its cross the bollocks. The usual. Right, well, I can already think of something that makes sense, but no, it hasn't made sense before, so fuck me, I guess. Because of the upcoming... Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna press all of it. Why not? Why not, eh? Why not? If you're in the understage passage, which, need I remind you, was the crime scene, then you most certainly should be counted as a potential suspect. But I don't have any motive to kill Mr. Royce. But you, by your own admission, hate Miss Wright. When she was arrested as a suspect, you said it was what she deserved.
Objection.
So you believe the witness killed a man simply due to her dislike of Trucy Wright. As a motive, is that not improbable at best? What if her hatred caused her to bear a strong sense of malice against my client? Look, Trucy just made me mad, that's all. I mean, even though she's younger than me, she's got so much skill and popularity. And she's cute, besides. Grrr, she makes me so mad, I wish she would drop dead. Betty, don't talk like that. Shut your yap. So was it just simple jealousy? Say, Betty, that next trick you were getting ready for. Fine, the one where Mr. Royce was... hang on a minute. That's right, it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. So here we go. And you were taking every necessary precaution, is that right? Of course, every precaution. After all, it's a very dangerous trick that uses real fire. I mean, we had to be ready in case the curtain caught on fire or something, right? By the time people realised it wasn't a part of the act, it might be too late, huh? If by people you mean Athena Sykes, then yes. Wow, a fire trick. That sounds really impressive. Hee, your beard would go up in smoke, old man. I bet people would mistake you for a cue ball or something without it. A cue ball? Betty, don't be rude to the judge. Hee. But Betty, you know that fire trick? Oh, is that not going to be a thing?
Hold it.
I thought that was going to lead to the fire bucket. So what exactly do you mean by you're going to give it away? See, Bonnie, you and your big mouth. Now Lobster Boy wants to know what we're talking about. Eep, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Yes, well, if you're preparing for the next magic trick, I'm sure you wouldn't have had the time to commit murder. Wow, looks like the old geezer isn't senile just yet, huh? I bet you'll live a good long life. Ho ho ho. I plan to be sitting up here at least another 10 years. 10 more years? I don't know about that. What did we discuss about inner monologues? Well, more power to you, I guess. In any case, I was so busy I didn't have the time to off anybody. Had the chance to kill Mr. Royce.
Hold it.
Are you just trying to cover for Betty? No, of course not. I believe in my sister. I know she'd never murder anyone. But you think my client would? No, I believe in Trucy too. I know she'd never murder anyone either. Well, we just ran out of suspects in that case. Yes, but... See, you should have just kept your mouth shut, dummy. You're just making a fool of yourself. Just be nice and quiet like a good little bunny, got it? Alright, I guess I'm no help. Aw. It's impossible to get anything out of Bonnie with Betty right there. So Betty was too busy getting ready for the next trick to have time for the murderer, huh? There must be some way to prove that that wasn't the case. Yes, there is, blatantly. Fucking save it again! I don't even remember when you get your life back. I don't even think I did in the first thing. If I get better at some point, otherwise this is going to get really old. Fine. Well, it was worth a go. No. Oh, snake. No, I want to. Hang on, wait. No, I could just return to the title. Because I have to. Because dumb bullshit. Continue. Hey. Right. Let's give that a shot. Bonnie, we're trying to get Betty's testimony right now, so... Alright, I'm sorry. You can step down if you'd like. I'm worried about Betty, though. She can lose her temper and say awful things sometimes. Hey, what are you, my mother? Don't forget, I'm the older sister. You got that? Me? Yes, I got it. I guess I'd worry about Mount Betty constantly blowing her top if I were Bonnie too. Sorry, I didn't quite get that one. So Betty, you were downstage getting ready for the fire trick, were you? Right, well that's nothing. Can I try and get something out of that again? No. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just try and get all of it. See if I can find some kind of thread, even though I know what it was. I see the fire trick was a part of the script. It seems Mr. Royce was scheduled to perform it later in the show. Did you not get to see him practice it beforehand? No. During rehearsal, he said he didn't feel well, so he couldn't breathe any fire for me. Wait, let me get this straight. He couldn't breathe fire because he wasn't feeling well. My magical powers appear to be on the wane today. That's what he said. So it was just a part of his usual The Great Mr. Roy shtick. It's really too bad I didn't get to see the trick because of the incident. Which was completely unexpected, of course. Hey! Right, you know what? Fuck it. We're rolling with that. Give him my bucket. Be fucking right, please.
Objection.
Yay! I hate to break this to you, Betty, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. See, I was fucking right. As big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier. Ooh, harsh words. Well, let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick. No one except me, you mean? Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeve. Huh? We do? I told you to keep it zipped! Now, don't fight, you two. Mr. Justice, what's this about a flaw in the testimony? The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust. Ack! Aye. Ouch! You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty? You got me! Blah! Betty DeFam, you will explain yourself. There's nothing to explain. Come on, Betty, we can't hide it any longer. We might as well tell them. Shut up! You can barely take care of yourself. Don't try and tell me what to do. Well, if neither of you will explain, I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is because she knew the show wouldn't go on. You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found and that the show would then be cancelled. Ah! Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna yank those lame bangs of yours off. Is that what you want, huh?
Objection!
Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already. Yeah, I can't reveal my secrets. I'm a magician. Oh, even he's pissed. Oh, what? You have been chasing the shadow of an illusory culprit defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you have let yourself get carried away. No, I think we're pretty good. Exactly. Where's your proof, huh? And yet, I can see that the witness's taste for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness. Grr, deceitful trickery? As your court-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again. I don't think that's really going to work. I think she fucking believed it to begin with. I think she's just fucking crazy. But all these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison for real. I'll be behind bars either way. Does that mean you're admitting your guilt? Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you think I did something I didn't do, you. Lobster boy? Cue ball geezer, head case brat, Cerberus monk. So she finally broken now, we go. Cue ball geezer. Head case brat? Really? Betty, calm down. Come on now, deep breaths, deep breaths. Huff, huff, huff. Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you. Then how did you know the show would be called off before the fire trick? I told you, we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract. Oh. Contract? What is she talking about? Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case. I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case. Huh? Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage. And second, that the witness and the accused are the only two who could have done it. Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found, and that the magic show would then be called off. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim understage. But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some other reason? Like what? In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. That, in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion, all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. True enough. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance. Key! Planned out? Well, yeah, I thought we gathered that one. After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media in this country. I read the newspapers, old news reports. I even browsed tabloid magazines. Good God, how are you still so, you? How very industrious of you. I'm impressed. During this process, I learned about a strange practice favoured by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Ah! Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended. You two were informed of this plan by Take Two TV in advance, correct? Ah! Is that true? Betty, please, let's tell them now. I can't hold it in anymore. Dang it. Fine, you got us. Everything the prosecutor said is true. The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan. It was all a prank, a big setup planned out in advance. Mr. Roy showing up dead in the coffin. The set piece falling down. It was all completely scripted. What? Well, hang on a minute. That's... he's going to explode. It was all a prank. Alright. Whatever works. Bonnie, is this really true? Yes, Mr. Royce was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go. So he was in on it too? That's right. He was supposed to show up dead in the coffin. And then the set piece would fall down. Trucy would be shocked and start to panic. That's how the prank script went. What? What the heck kind of prank is that? But we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Poor Mr. Royce. Ah, well, this is taking its own interesting turn. Yeah, kind of with you there, buddy. Kind of with you. Well, Betty and Bonnie, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do. Alright, alright. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Hee. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully. You'll never hear this kind of thing anywhere else. After our teleportation trick, I went down under stage, when Mr. Royce's body appeared from the coffin on stage. It was time for Betty to do her job in the understage preparation. That's right, I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon set piece. And made it fall down. And just before the dragon fell, I called Trucy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt. After that, the plan was for Mr. Royce to come back to life in front of a panicked Trucy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That was how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason he really did turn up dead, so he kinda just stayed on the ground. What kind of sick joke is that? Yeah. Sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was trying to do a magic show. I guess so. I'm sorry, Trucy. Huh, whatever. It was all the rating Roger's idea anyway. Yeah, it sounds like just the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with. This is the prank plan script we got from the ratings, Roger. Wow. Again, this is good! This is solid gold! Dang it, you made us break our contract. Now we won't get paid. But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim, and when? Yes, exactly. Those are the key questions. If Mr. Royce was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as part of the prank, then when he was under stage, there would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who is also under stage, may be excluded from our list of suspects. It rolls back round to Trucy, doesn't it? Yeah. Witness, was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin? Oh, well, now that we've spilled the beans, we might as well show you this video. Oh, fuck, really? Greetings, viewers, it is I, the great Mr. Royce. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trick. Having snuck through the understage passage undetected, I am now hiding backstage, preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trucy will stab with a rubber sword. And when the coffin opens, ho-ho, I will be in it, acting as though I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? Ho-ho, I can hardly wait. He's about to hide in the coffin? It would seem the threads of karmic destiny have led us to the truth. Alright, well, you can't claim murder then. You can claim accidental. The victim passed through the understage where Betty DeFam was and came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mr. Royce appeared to be backstage when he shot the video we saw. It appears that way, yes. And defense, you proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mr. Royce entered the coffin. Oh, so does that mean... Yes, it is horrible but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. When into the coffin where Mr. Royce was hiding, Trucy Wright thrust her blade. Oh, bollocks! We've completely balls that one up, haven't we? Kee hee hee. See? Told you so. So are you saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank? It would be an accident if the accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. So let us ask the accused herself. Miss Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank? What? You did, didn't you? You silly moo. Tell him, Trucy, you didn't know anything about it, right? Of course I didn't. I didn't know a single thing about it. Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case, you leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence. It looks like some sort of note. Ah! That's... I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. At the time, I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now. Bonnie, get the video camera after Mr. Royce comes tumbling out. Trucy, right, what the fuck? What's this? Let's see, it says get the video camera, yeah. It is a note signed by the accused, instructing Bonnie to collect Mr. Royce's video camera from him, it seems. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I found it in the dressing room before the show. When I saw it, I realised that Trucy knew about the prank. It does bear her signature, I'll give you that much. So the defendant had prior knowledge of the prank. It would appear so, yes. When she learned about the plan to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage. So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin where the victim stood chuckling to himself. Is that not what happened, Miss Wright? Of course not, and I didn't write or sign that note. Ah, but the handwriting matches yours. All of the evidence and testimony points to you being the culprit. But I didn't do it! It wasn't me! Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not? I can't explain it. I didn't write it, so I don't understand. I didn't kill Mr. Royce! You have to believe me! Yeah, that's gonna make you seem really innocent, love. Oh dear, what a fine pickle. The silence is deafening. Oh, fuck off. Continue struggling against the threads of your own karma if you wish, accused. Even as you are inescapably caught in the web of fate you've spun for yourself. Come on, present the fucking trick folder, although that only really does fucking signatures. Miss Wright, it is time to resign yourself to your fate. No, I didn't do it. Oh no, don't do that! Ugh. But I didn't do it! I really didn't! Why doesn't anybody believe me? Oh, that's horrible! You fucking dicks. This is bad. Ah, he's pretty cool, I have to say. Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. Give your official ruling and let us offer the victim's soul the last rites it deserves. Very well, I suppose I have no other choice. Wait! Hereby finds the defendant truly... Ah! Oh my god, who could it have been? Yay! Yeah, we know. Apollo! You! Even now you would! I won't give up, and I refuse to let either of them down. Mr. Wright, who's counting on me, and Trucy, who's put all of her faith in me. Mr. Justice, the fact that you have raised an objection means that you have evidence with which to refute the prosecution's claims, correct? Yes, of course, Your Honor. Kind of. A bit. Actually, we do. There's one piece of evidence we can present here. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may proceed. As we saw in the show footage, there's no question that the defendant thrust a sword into the coffin. The defense doesn't dispute this point. But let us not forget that this was a magic show filled with tricks and illusions. We can't take everything we see at face value. So you're saying some sleight of hand was somehow involved? Yes, the defense contends that the sword the defendant used was not the cause of death. Now, what was it Trucy told me that she did just before she thrust the sword into the coffin? Well, let us see your evidence then, Mr. Justice. But remember, you interrupted my verdict to make this claim. You'll be severely penalised if I find you are bluffing. Well, it's fine, I've fucked up 4 times anyway. This shows that it's possible that the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death. I'm gonna fucking guess it's that, right? Oh, hang on a fucking minute. Let me bloody save it. I don't have any faith in myself anymore. This game, it robs you of that. It's made me feel like a complete Norbert. What's this? A sword from the show? That's right, Your Honour. This rubber sword was in the sword stand under stage. During the trick, Miss Wright was supposed to swap the real sword for a rubber sword, and she told us on record that she remembers very clearly that she did. I see, so the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin was a rubber sword, was it? But then why was her steel sword found lying on the stage? Somebody must have put the steel... Yeah, you see, it's not really gonna fucking hold that well, is it? Just after the incident occurred, the dragon set piece fell and the theatre was evacuated. I suppose. The real culprit must have used the resulting chaos to swap the rubber sword for the steel one. Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with Blokey over here. It's like, alright, yeah, what if? Let's throw what ifs out there. Do you not know when to give up, Stinkbug? That is not possible! Blood was found in the coffin hole that the sword was thrust into. It must have been left there when the accused withdrew the sword. This is incontrovertible proof that the sword she used was the steel one. But that blood could be the result of someone tampering with the crime scene after the fact. Yeah, but if you keep throwing what... Oh, fine, go on then. After the set piece fell and the audience was cleared out of the theatre, there was plenty of time for somebody to plant that blood there. If the sword the accused used was a rubber one, then when exactly did he propose the victim was killed, given that Mr. Royce was alive when he entered that coffin? Finding the answer to that question is precisely why we need to continue this trial. What a massive crock of bullshit. Let me express my opinion. By all accounts, it is certainly reasonable to suspect the defendant based on the evidence. But as to the question of whether the sword the defendant used was rubber or steel, I believe further discussion is warranted. I suggest we hear from the defendant herself on this issue. Very well. Huzzah! Yeah, load of bollocks. I'm fairly certain if you start throwing what ifs out, then, well, the prosecution could start throwing what ifs out and would probably end up winning. Oh, cool, break time. Neat. I advise the prosecution and the defense to use this time to prepare. Fair cop. Alright, I think another break time. I don't know, we're motoring along decently well there, but we still got, I don't know, probably got to figure out what exactly Trucy was actually doing, and then we've got to get to, Twat McGee, so, I don't know, probably another couple of hours. Oh well, this game. Oh well, I hope you have all enjoyed. I enjoyed that much better than the last part. That was... See, when the writers fully embrace the fact that they're fucking lunatics, it's a lot of fun. But when you've got to try and hop on the lunatic just train of logic, suddenly it all becomes a bit... Like, when you're watching it, it's great fun. You have a brilliant time. When you actually have to think about it and apply your brain to their train, it's like the brain just splatters across the train and it doesn't work and it gets really fucking frustrating. I don't know. Whatever. It's a thing, but when it, like I say, when it goes full loco, it's really fucking enjoyable. But again, I've been playing this since, well, I suppose I did have like 2 hours out, but I did start at like 1 and it's like 9:30. And we're only the second case. Why am I 10 days off? This is going to be spent fucking completing this. Oh man. Well, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in a bit. Peace.